BKB Bare Knuckle Boxing closes out an historic 2025 when it returns to the land of the Red Dragon. Friday, December 5th for BKB 49 from the Vale Arena in Cardiff, Wales. In the main event, Wales' own undefeated Liam Reese defends his super lightweight title against one of the hottest fighters in BKB today, top contender Rolando D. In the co-main event, undefeated light heavyweights Kieran Harding and David Winiarski meet in the Trigon. Two of BKB's top rising stars face off when Simi Doherty fights Callum Skane. Don't miss BKB 49. Visit bkbbareknuckle.com for tickets and information. This has truly become our home away from home. We are back in Wales, we are back in beautiful Cardiff, and we are set for BKB 49, our main event. Later tonight, the title is on the line as the Welsh Rocky Liam Reese looks to defend his belt for the second time when he fights Rolando D from the Philippines. First, we start out with our preliminary matchups, and we have some good ones. Tom Pratt, Robert Koki. Pratt making his debut in the Trigon. Ethan George, Shaun Rafferty, both stepping in the Trigon for the first time. Healey and Kosiak should be spectacular, and we get it started with Geraint, Goodrich, and Ruairi McCarthy. Yes, that is Ruairi McCarthy.
Please welcome Goodrich.
Never been so nervous going into a fight. Like, I've had a lot of gloved boxing fights. About an hour before I was supposed to go to the venue, laying on the bed in the hotel room, just shaking, didn't want to go. Unbelievable. I had to basically fight to get out of the bed and get over to the venue. Absolutely petrified. The ring walk to me was an achievement, but to go on and win the fight the way I did, that was just, you know, a dream debut.
What about your opponent, Geraint Goodridge? What do you know about him?
I don't know very much now. I'm not fond of looking up my opponents. I'm not fond of researching them myself. So my coach, who's a former professional boxer, he's went and looked up Geraint, and he's picked out his flaws and his attributes, and he's going to tell me what to work on, and we'll do it that way.
What do you know about Ruairi?
I've looked, obviously, he does interviews. I'm a type of guy I respect somebody as a fighter. I know he's done MMA. He's going to be tough. I'll show him respect all the way up to it. I'll show him respect after, but when we're in the Trigon, you know, may the best man win.
You fought bare knuckle before,
I've
obviously.
had a few, yeah.
But now you're going into the Trigon.
Yeah.
How does that appeal to you, the Trigon?
It's very daunting, but it's a challenge I'm ready to accept, and I'm going to try my best.
I'd like to wish him all the best in the fight, and hopefully after we can catch up and both get out unhurt, you know.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cardiff, Wales. Tonight's home to BKB Bare Knuckle Boxing, and tonight's home of the smallest fighting surface in combat sports, BKB's Mighty Trigon. Tonight, for BKB 49, we are headlined by the World Championship bout between Welsh's own Liam Rocky Reese as he takes on the #1 contender, Rolando D. But before we get to that championship main event and a great main card, we welcome you first to the prelim portion of our card, where we begin first with 5 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his way to the Trigon, please welcome Ruairi McCarthy.
Mike Goldberg, the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi, Tom Ross here at the broadcast table, ready to welcome in Ruairi McCarthy as he makes his professional bare knuckle debut. And Tom, I do want to mention this. The Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi, unbeaten inside the Trigon.
I should be unbeaten in the whole sport, but they didn't give me the first one.
I would agree with that.
I deserve that one.
I would agree with that.
Can I just make it quite clear?
in broadcast terms, he's on his own getting into that ring. So I'm not bothering.
No, I just waved at you, Paulie.
Yeah, I appreciated the wave. You know, it was actually one of my bucket list moments here. You got to call one of my fights, man.
It was another bucket list moment for me. Well, you look tremendous. And it was funny, we were talking earlier about Bristol, and I'm like, yeah, Tom and I, and Paulie's like, yeah, I was there.
yeah, I wasn't here with you, but I was here with you.
I've got to tell the folks at home, Paulie's high-fived you and not bothered with me, and I was there as well. Forget it, man. Too late.
Oh, Tom, because
too late.
You're my football compadre.
And listen, we do talk football a lot. This is one, Mikey, this guy here could be a surprise packet of BKB.
McCarthy.
This guy McCarthy's a tough guy.
I'm always interested, though, in somebody's first bare-knuckle experience. He has his first bare-knuckle fight tonight. I'm always interested because it is a little bit different. There is a little bit of a shock factor, but at the same time, there are guys who get comfortable really quickly, and there are guys who never get comfortable with it. So that first experience, no matter what other kind of combat you come from, is always something that makes me curious.
He has competed in multiple combat sports for the last 13-plus years. Tonight, he is set to make his BKB debut.
I stand corrected. He did have bare knuckle, but just not in the triangle.
That's true.
Thanks, Tom.
He is Ruairi McCarthy.
And now his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the trigon. Please welcome Geraint Goodrich.
That man is the Magic Man.
Is he?
He is. He is.
I love it.
Yep. The Magic Man.
It's a pretty cool nickname, right?
I've got a really good friend who utilizes that nickname.
He's the real Magic Man. But this guy here...
You're only saying that because you guys bonded over...
I'm only saying that because I'm within punching distance. But this guy Goodrich, he would have been a top pro boxer who was highly ranked, and COVID interrupted the dream.
Yeah, and sometimes that turns things in the other direction, the fork in the road, you know?
He was set to fight for the Welsh title, and as Tom referred to, COVID killed the dream. Then he lost his father. Things got away a little bit from the Magic Man, Geraint Goodridge, but now he is 1-0 in the Trigon, looking to move to 2-0, right back here in Cardiff, where it only took him 62 seconds to gain his first victory back in April. Our tail of the tape for this super middleweight matchup brought to you by Vortex Competition. Goodrich, 4 years the elder of McCarthy. He will have a 4-inch reach advantage. He will also have an inch height advantage. We get set for our first prelim of the night. We'll get it in to Big Mo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we open tonight's prelim card in the super middleweight division, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. This bout is brought to you by Vortex Competitions, and our referee in charge when the bell rings is Clive Allison. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the green trunks, he stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in at 168.4 pounds. Tonight, he is making his professional bare-knuckle debut, fighting out of Ballycastle, Northern Ireland, by way of Liverpool, England, introducing Roy C4 McCarthy. And now his opponent standing across the trigon, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with gold trim. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighed in at 168.2 pounds. Tonight, he enters the trigon with an undefeated bare-knuckle record of 1 victory, opposite no defeats. Fighting out of Avon Valley, Wales, introducing Geraint Magic Man Goodrich.
Clive Marcin, our referee. Goodrich and McCarthy. Here we go. The Welshman, the Magic Man, in the black and gold trunks. Ruairi McCarthy in the green and black trunks. Toe-to-toe early, nice jab.
Yeah, both guys trying to utilize that jab early on, trying to establish a bit of a mid-range advantage.
How good is it to see fighters who want to work off the jab?
There you go. Just like that, early knockdown scored by the Welsh Magic Man.
Was on a jab of his own too, right, Goldie?
Yeah,
the jab closed the knockdown. You see the Goodrich throwing a bit of a heavier jab, putting some more meat behind it, pushing off his back foot.
McCarthy trying to come back.
Yeah, McCarthy's now getting backed up. He's on that back foot. He's got to stop that backward momentum. Goodrich on that forward momentum. Again with the shot jab. And again off of the jab.
We don't see it often enough in bare knuckle that working off the jab. The jab's dangerous in bare knuckle.
Yeah. If one man utilized the jab to 2 world championships and also still utilizes it, talked about it at you, Paul.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Yep.
Of course, but you know what? Again, people don't realize there's different kinds of jabs. You snap a jab. You can also put a lot of weight behind it, and you can see that's what Goodrich is doing. He's pushing off his back foot, so powering it in there, and that's what's causing these knockdowns right now. It's a heavier jab than the jab that McCarthy's trying to also utilize on the back foot.
But it's right, Paul, isn't it? That power comes from your stance.
Yeah, that back foot. Yeah, that push off. There's a little left hook.
Rock Goodrich.
From McCarthy.
Cut his eye.
Yeah, McCarthy trying to fight off the back foot a little bit. If he can sort of work his way into this fight, it can work in a counter-punching ability because Goodrich does step in hard and he can be counter-punched, but you got to get through the storm right now, and right now Goodrich is bringing a big storm.
Good body shot. Goodrich just getting away from the harm thrown by Ruairi McCarthy. 2 knockdowns for Goodrich already.
Rory's thrown that right hand so many times. He's looking for that big punch. I think the classiest style is definitely Goodrich.
Yeah, Goodrich again staying on the jab. He's cut a little bit, staying on that jab. I will say the bald head of McCarthy, it'll start to hurt your jab hand. If this fight continues, I would expect Goodrich to be a little less active with the jab because you start pounding on that bald head with your jab. Starts hurting your hands.
Right in front of us.
Of course, it requires McCarthy to last long enough.
McCarthy is a true fighter. Back up again. Goodrich looking for the finish.
As I was saying, Goldie, for anything that I just said to matter, McCarthy has to last long enough to make that happen. He's trying to use that jab himself now.
He smells the window, doesn't he? He smells the wind.
Round 1 in the books. Not 1, not 2, but 3 knockdowns scored by the Welsh Magic Man. Geraint Goodrich.
I want you to bring him onto you now.
Great play. We use that jab. We're talking about that jab. He's some good body work as well by Goodrich. Once he got his momentum going, he put the punches together. And that's sort of just a knockdown from being overwhelmed, right, Tom?
For the first prelim, Goodrich is very economical with his shots. They're all counting.
Yeah.
There's no wasting. Whereas McCarthy's thrown a lot of wild shots that haven't connected.
Yeah, and McCarthy also on the back foot a little bit, so he's not getting enough on the shot to get the respect of Goodrich.
Goodrich can smell the window. Do you think, you've been in there, you can smell it.
You can see it getting around and starting to really smell blood, trying to up the ante a little bit. Let's see how he comes out in the second round.
A pressure fighter, fit, tough, and durable, and we saw tons of pressure from Goodrich in round number 1. Fight scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Round 2. Goodrich in the black and gold, green and black from McCarthy, making his bare-knuckle debut in the triangle. And again, knockdown. That was the right hand that time.
And And you know what? He disguised it well. He threw a jab to the stomach, then the second jab to the stomach he threw, he came with the right hand to the top. So he's got McCarthy looking down, and then the right hand is disguised. He shoots up top.
What caused McCarthy a problem was he changed stance.
Yeah.
He changed stance, opening up his face.
Yeah. But again, it was also the bait thrown out there by Goodrich. So good check hook there by McCarthy. He's got to follow up though. Right now he's just throwing stay away from me punches, and Goodrich knows it. Good right hand, Goldie.
This could be it. Mouthpiece is on the canvas.
How game is he?
Wow. It is all over. Goodrich with the victory. The stoppage in round number 2 on the 5th knockdown of the fight.
Perfect stoppage by Clive. He gave McCarthy all the chance. McCarthy's all hard. Gave McCarthy all the chance to, as he kept counting him as he got up. But as soon as McCarthy stumbled just a little bit, Clive Allison pulled the trigger. Good stoppage.
Credit to McCarthy though, Mikey. He kept going. He could have got out of there a lot earlier. He'd been down 4 times before that one.
Yeah.
He could have got out, but he kept going. Brave as they come.
Great performance by Goodrich. But Tom and Paulie, McCarthy did land, and he showed us a little bit about what he is all about, and that is toughness. He did have 4 bare-knuckle battles in Germany, so it'll be interesting to see how he recovers from this.
Do you not think, though, that the level in BKB is rising?
Oh, yeah.
It's not enough now to be tough. It used to be. Now it's not enough. Now you've got to have boxing ability with it. We saw boxing ability with Geraint. We saw courage from the other guy, but he hasn't got the ability to go with it.
You need a little bit of both, Tom, and also the trigon is a bit of a complicated format to be fighting in. It's not a lot of space. There's various ways you get trapped. It forces you to engage a lot more than maybe you might want to. You can be tough, you can be technical, but you gotta also have the good understanding of the trial
to use the ring.
Yes, use it and also not use it sometimes.
That's the best point. Where to keep out of trouble, slip and move.
Big Mo to make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Clive Allison calls a stop to this contest at 51 seconds of the second round, declaring your winner by TKO and still undefeated, Geraint Magic Man Goodrich!
Back-to-back shows where Magic Men win.
There you go. I like that.
Didn't take him long, Mikey, to come up with that one, did it?
He's ready too.
Well, I was waiting for him to win first. Yeah.
And the victor will visit with Gareth A. Davies.
Indeed, I am here with Geraint, the Magic Man. You took to him with a relish there tonight.
Yeah, he's a tough fella. Give credit. Not many people get up 5 times, especially with no gloves on. So, a lot of respect for Ruairi. I've knocked my first 2 out now. The first one was easy. The second one, I think now's the time to just up a level. You know, I didn't get boxing straight away. So I found it hard. Ricky's screaming in the corner, but when I got going, I showed how tough I am. So I'm coming. I've set my dreams, go all the way to the top. Let's have my 3rd one as a test. I'm ready. Anyone in my division to win it, I've got to fight them. So let's fight them.
14 years young you are indeed, and you've got to say with that Welsh hoil, it's the best crowd in the world, isn't it?
Amazing. I think everybody from wherever they're from, Swansea, my Stig, Bridget, Newport, everybody clapped me, and thanks a lot. It was amazing to win in front of you all. I mean, keep bringing BKB here. We got some cracking talents on show, and it's a great show to be on.
The Magic Man, everybody, Geraint Goodrich!
Goodrich's first fight in the Trigon was an achievement. First fight in 5.5 years. He moves to 2-0 tonight, and we are all over social media.
BKB fans, don't miss highlights, news, and much more on all your favorite fighters and events. For minute-by-minute updates, follow us on all social media platforms by visiting bkbbareknuckle.com/follow.
Ladies and gentlemen, moving right along with our prelim card, we now move to the super welterweight division. Scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his way to the Trigon. Please welcome Marcin Kosiak.
I've said it before, and Paulie, you know it, Paul, Tom, you know it as well. A lot of times there are two people, one that fights, one that walks around daily. With Quentin Rampage Jackson, he's Q. Outside of competition, he's Rampage. Inside competition, Marcin Kosiak has told us, I was a bad guy back then. I had a lot of problems I've been able to overcome. So now he feels like he's much more of a gentleman outside, but he is a psycho, Tom, inside the triangle.
If ever there was the guy who had the right nickname, it's this guy, because he is crackers. There's no doubt about it. What a lovable fella who's changed his life around and owes a lot to BKB for changing his life around. Now lives in Ireland with his wife. Really changed his way. He's such an engaging character. Trust me on this. This is going to be fight of the night.
You got to know how to compartmentalize things. Right? You know, some guys live that character all the time. You're talking about Rampage. You're talking about the Macho Man Randy Savage. I can remember back in the day. Some guys have to be that character, like Ric Flair. But some guys are Conor McGregor. Some guys are that character all the time, and it works for them. And some guys, they have to be able to divide it up a little bit and compartmentalize it. And that's what Kosiak realized he needed. And sometimes that works. I personally, for me, that's what works as well. You got to compartmentalize.
My good friend, the late Anthony Rumble Johnson, also a great example of what we were just talking about. His opponent is the well-shaped man.
Who has had good wins and he's been beaten, but he's a tough cookie.
Psycho Kosiak!
Big for an interesting fight, you know, none of us take backward steps. You know, Tom, I can fight in the front foot, back foot. You've seen, well, a lot of people have seen for themselves, like, you know. I've proved, I think I got a bit of boxing technique to me as well now, and the technicality is coming. Whatever he wants to do, I'm happy. If he wants to box, I'll box. If he wants to tear up, he'll stand in the ring and trade blows all day long. Like, you know?
You like a tear up, though?
I do, yeah. I don't mind partial to a tear up.
Where are you in your bare knuckle career about where you want to be?
For me, it'll be to get back to where I was back when I fought Darren McCallum and Liam Rocky Reese. I think I was in my fittest then. That's something that I want to still push towards again, like to show that I can still fight and still throw down with the best.
Are you your own worst enemy?
I am, yeah, definitely. 110%. I'm either all or nothing. My ADHD is either all the way up here or all the way down here. And if you don't catch me on the wavelength and keep me here, I'm a fucking lunatic.
Marcin Kosiak!
Either way, it's gonna be exciting. And, you know, he doesn't like to stick around in the ring. Like, you know, I don't care whether he goes a distance or if he wants to try and finish it, and he can try and finish it. But I ain't going anywhere.
Message for Marcin Kosiak?
All the best and see you on fight night. That's all I can get for him. He brings his A game, I bring him mine.
And now, fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the Trigon, from Wales, Healey!
Tom, you called both the fights that Corey just referenced. The fight against the former British BKB champion, Aaron McCallum, and then the reigning and defending later tonight in our main event, super welterweight champion, Liam Rocky Reese. The crazy thing, Tom, 36 days apart, those two fights in two different weight classes.
Absolutely, and this guy, Healey, is as tough as they come. He hasn't fought any Muppets, he's fought really tough fighters. Kosiak is, I don't know what Kosiak's going to bring to the ring. You know what Corey Healey will bring, we've watched him. I don't know what Kosiak's going to come out. That's the beauty and his strength. Corey Healey won't know what's coming either because he's got that in him. You watch his style tonight, he'll be different from anything we've ever seen before.
Amazing to have fights that close together, Paul.
Yeah, because also the recovery, because in this sport, even if you have an easy fight, your hands still have to recover. You know, so I always find that amazing when guys can fight quickly back to back, but it means you probably can't go too many rounds. You got to get those finishes, which in the Trigon happens.
Well, and the amazing thing of those two fights, though, he went the distance.
He went the distance
in both the fight with McCallum and Reese.
But he'll tell you, this guy sitting next to us, Paulie, will tell you, you can fight quickly. It depends on what punishment you've taken.
Yeah, well, Cub Hawkins just did it, right? He did 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks after his previous
about 2
fight.
months,
Get the quick stoppage, you're preserved.
And I just saw the Welsh Wrecking Machine, Barry Jones, gave him some great holiday wishes, went to shake his hand, and he's like, told him my hand's still a little bit sore, but that comes with the game. Our tail of the tape for this super welterweight matchup brought to you by Clue. Want to quit smoking? Let us give you a clue. 37-year-old Kosiak, 8 years the elder of his opponent Healey, who will have a 3-inch reach advantage. The rest is virtually identical. With the official introductions, once again, Big Mo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from Cardiff, Wales, our next bout on the prelim card is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds in the super welterweight division. Brought to you by Clue Nicotine Pouches. Looking to quit smoking or vaping? Let us give you a clue. Our referee in charge when the bell rings is Ian John Lewis. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, he stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. He weighed in at 148.2 pounds. Tonight, he enters the Trigon with an even bare-knuckle record of 3 victories, opposite 3 defeats. Fighting out of Ennis Court, the Ireland, by way of Mogilno, Poland, introducing Marcin Psycho Kosiak. And now his opponent, standing across the Trigon, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks with white and green trim, he stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. He weighed in at 148 pounds even. Tonight, he enters the Trigon with an even bare-knuckle record of 4 victories, opposite 4 defeats. And he fights out of the valleys by way of Maesteg, Wales, introducing Corey, the Welsh Hitman, Healey.
Corey Healey, switch stance fighter, looks like he's going to start this battle southpaw against Marcin Kosiak. Here we go. Red, white, and green trunks for Healey. Switches to orthodox quickly. Black trunks for Marcin Kosiak.
Trying to start fast as Healey falls right in to that clinch.
Healey describes his opponents and himself as lunatics in the ring, highlighting fearless approach, aggressive approach, and a never-quit attitude. They work in the clinch early.
And the constant switch is lunacy, too. I mean, he's going lefty and righty a bunch of different times already.
Kosiak is the epitome of a street fighter.
Oh, yeah.
He's a street fighter. He said himself, I'm from the dark side of the street. Healey's a boxer. We'll see what happens, but he's got all the makings of a real good scrap.
I think these guys got to tighten up their tongue punches a little bit. As they get close, they're throwing a little wide, and they wind up in these clinches here. Punches got to get a little tighter so they can get those shots landed where they need them at close range.
These two fighters know each other. They sparred 2 years ago, and Kosiak said it was a pretty even matchup in sparring, which we know is a little bit different, Paulie, but he also said 2 years is a long time.
Yeah, of course, a lot can change in 2 years. Good shots there thrown by both guys. Kosiak has a little bit of a stutter step. He's in, he's out, he changes range, which I find really can be helpful in this sport. The subtle, small range changes. Good little counter right hand there by Kosiak.
Isn't that good, though, Paulie? In and out quick.
Yeah, and exactly, but it's like they're subtle, you know. There's in and out, but then you see these little stutter steps. And again, he managed to throw a left hook there and get it onto Healey.
Corey Healey continues to learn from each fight. Comes in without an extensive boxing background, but he definitely has gotten comfortable as a bare knuckle boxer. This is 9th professional bout tonight.
I think Healey has to tighten up those shots a little bit. Good shots there landed. He shortens them up just a little bit. I think he'll be more accurate on Kosiak.
Is Kosiak's chin too high? He comes in with his chin high.
A little bit, but what he's doing is, again, he's got these little stutter steps that can throw off. See, again, there's that little feint, and Healey bit on it. Again, these little stutter steps can be a little bit confusing because sometimes he's throwing off of them and sometimes he's not. And he's also changing directions at times and sometimes he's not. Sometimes he's actually stepping in instead of stepping out.
Corey Healey has a similar type story as Marcin Kosiak. Combat sports, bare knuckle boxing, put him on the right path, saved his life, and now they're going toe-to-toe here in round number 1. Mike Goldberg, Paulie Malignaggi, Tom Ross. From Vale Arena in Cardiff. Nice snap on that right hand.
That was better from Corey. He tried the uppercut as well, which we haven't seen, I think, so far tonight. Wonderful, 2 or 3 really good different shots. Kosiak had no answer to that.
Again, a lot of switching on the part of Healey here.
The difficult is that, Corey, that switching. When he keeps switching stances, everyone is in at the moment.
It depends on how effective you are at it. You know, sometimes switching stances can be good because it can be confusing. But you have to make sure you're defensively just as responsible from both stances. I think most fighters can fight out of both stances in terms of offensively. But defensively, sometimes your defense lacks out of one of the stances. But if Healey seems comfortable with it, you see some of these replays here. Again, some of the wide shots. This is Healey falling into ropes, but nothing really landed there as it was more so momentum. There are good hook lands from Healey. It's Kosiak, you mentioned Kosiak's chin being up in the air. He paid for it there as Healey was able to land a good right hook.
You don't think when he changes stance, whenever he normally checks out the opposition, then make sure he goes outside the foot. Kosiak's not changing his stance. Whatever Corey does, he's not changing.
Yeah.
Adrian Sheeran, a very busy man tonight. Callum Skane, Troy Palmer, our champion Liam Rocky Reese. It's going to be a full night's work for Adrian Sheeran, one of the best trainers in bare knuckle boxing today. They've started close quarters here in round number 2. Black trunks for Psycho Marcin Kosiak, Corey the Welsh Hitman, Healey in the red, white, and green.
8 fights he's had so far, Corey, and different hairstyle in every one. Somebody must owe him. He must owe somebody money.
6 fights for Kosiak. Same
hairstyle.
Same hairstyle.
I don't have much of a choice, right?
You know, back in the day, I always used to say, who would want to get in a fight with the guy with a mohawk and tattoos on his head? But now you look at Kosiak, he doesn't even need the mohawk.
Nah, we got tattoos covered, though.
Yes, he does. The Iceman, Chuck Liddell. That sharp right hand from Healey in round 1. Probably the best punch that landed for either man in the first 3 minutes.
A little bit of a nosebleed on
blood coming from him, yes.
Both guys throwing really hard punches. The accuracy isn't great. I'm sure the percentage isn't great. It's a bit of a cumbersome physical fight. But when they do land, they're throwing really hard punches. Somebody's hurt here. Healey might be hurt.
That takedown.
Healey might be injured.
Could have landed on his rib.
It could be the hip, too.
Yeah.
Hip flexor. See, they did fall because Kosiak fell on top of him as well, right? So there is a kind of a double impact on that fall.
It's like taking a body shot, isn't it? Well, he's flat on the floor.
Yeah, but
because we hit him in the side.
The weight of the way he went down could be something. Let's see. Let's see if he fell on his hip. I think he fell on his side. That's the problem. See, right there. See, he fell on his side, and that's the problem too. So it could be hip or yeah. And it could be his shoulder actually too. It could have fell on the shoulder. You see the shoulder?
Yep.
On your side. Could be. It looks like he's pointing to his hip. Yeah, it might.
Well, as you do that, Paulie, you see the doctor. He is working on the shoulder, and this one is over, unfortunately.
But sometimes shoulder separations happen as well on falls like that, especially, like I said, Kosiak's weight was also on top of him. So there's a double momentum there.
Ian John Lewis has just pointed to his hip, talking to the judges. So I think that'll be a no contest, won't it?
Yeah, we're early enough in the fight, and unfortunately it ends with Corey Healey injured on what was a takedown, quote unquote, as Kosiak and Healey tangled, and they really were setting a good pace.
Developing into a good fight, wasn't it? A real good BKB fight.
Yeah, like I said, there wasn't a lot of accuracy. I thought the punches could have been a little bit tighter, but they were throwing hard shots, so when they were landing, I was kind of feeling for them both on what was landing and also on their hands, too, because they were throwing some pretty hard punches.
Yeah, less technical ability, but definitely more brutal fighting.
Take a look at it again.
See, again, there's a holding here, and it's almost like Healey was the one trying to do the judo throw, and it went wrong, and Kosiak, look, see, Healey kind of turns him, like he's trying to do a judo toss, right? Goldie, you know more about that MMA stuff, you know?
I did watch Ronda Rousey a few times.
It would look like a judo toss gone wrong, and Kosiak just ended up falling on top of him.
Sad way for a fight to end, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, because although, as Paulie said, they weren't at a high percentage with accuracy, the intensity was at a very high percentage.
Absolutely, 100%. And remember, his nose was bleeding. Maybe Corey could have worked on that and set it up again.
The intention was mean, but maybe he'll do a rematch later.
Did you find him, Mike, when we interviewed him? He's engaging, isn't he?
He really is.
Marcin Kosiak is an engaging guy.
I would not want to engage with him if he were in a bad mood,
Back alley,
To be fair, if he was walking down the same side of the street, you'd cross over, wouldn't you?
But then you start talking to him, and you're happy to have a conversation with him.
I'd order an Uber to get away. All right, here's Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ian John Lewis calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 17 seconds of the second round. And due to the fight not meeting the minimum requirement of halfway through completion, this bout has been ruled a no contest.
Unfortunate, as we had mentioned, third fight in the Trigon for both men. And Corey Healey really hurt himself. The doctors, the medical staff will attend to him. And Kosiak has changed his life. He fights inside like a psycho, but he's not a dirty fighter.
No, not at all. And listen, that guy, if you get his backstory, that guy's backstory would frighten you. Where he's been, what he's been through, and all the other things in Poland, here. And yet look at him now, he's turned his life around, he's got his wife, he's living in Ireland away from all the lunatics. The guy's changed, and I think that's a really good thing to see and a wonderful story as well. And BKB's done that, by the way.
Yes.
Social services again.
All right, this is our last one of 2025, BKB 50. Lots of gold. January 31st in Miami, Florida. Main event for the Super Lightweight World Championship as the Hitman 5-0, Harry Gigliotti looks to defend his title for the third time against Esteban Partida, and Jamie Driver looks for defense number 1 against the Brazilian Bianca Daimoni. Tickets are on sale now. Visit bkbbareknuckle.com for information.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the next bout on our prelim card, we move up to the cruiserweight division, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out the corner, making his way to the Trigon, please welcome Shaun Rafferty.
Shaun Rafferty. Said of his opponent, he is very respectful. Rafferty making his professional bare knuckle and Trigon debut. Told us in the fighter meetings he feels calm, but he's also excited for this, focusing on getting in the ring and performing, motivated by the experience and personal challenge of competing without gloves, Paulie.
Yeah, and like as I said earlier, it's always interesting the first time you're going to do bare knuckle, no matter what kind of combat you come from, no matter where you come from. It's a little bit of a different experience, and some guys take to it really well and take to it right away, and some guys have a completely shocking reaction, and don't want to take to it at all, you know, and then you see that. So this will be one of the curiosities here. It's Rafferty's first time in the Trigon, first time bear fighting bare knuckle, as you mentioned, Goldie. So the first round will be something I'm very curious about.
How big a shock is it falling that first round?
I mean, it can be a shock, or it can be something that you take to right away. I mean, listen, a lot of guys that could come to bare knuckle come from another different kind of combat. So I think personally you should be able to take to it right away. But I've also seen reactions from guys where they suddenly are so shocked that they don't want to do it anymore. You know, so and they're gone in one round. Yeah. So that's always the curiosity for me, because it can be one extreme or the other. But I'm always looking more keenly at a guy who's having his first bare knuckle fight.
So it is Shaun Rafferty against another newcomer from Wales, Hellboy Ethan George.
Making his BKB debut in December. Ethan, firstly, tell us a little bit about how excited you are to fight for BKB.
I can't wait, to be honest with you. It got to a point with the glove boxing where I was just walking to the ring with no nerves or nothing like that, no fear or anything like that of anyone. But with BKB now, it's given me a bit of excitement. Like, I need a bit of excitement to get me going to train properly, so I'm excited, yeah.
What are you going to bring to BKB?
Knockouts, big knockouts, blood, guts and arse everywhere. Can't wait.
In your life, like most of us, there's been times when you've taken the wrong path.
Yeah.
How did that affect you?
Bad, to be honest with you. I've fallen out with some of my family, my friends. I'd be going out and come out and go to work. I'd be drinking for days on end and staying out. But when I've signed that contract now, I've switched me back in. BKB, without even having the fight yet, probably saved my life, because I was going down a slippery slope. I would either end up killing somebody or killing myself, to be honest with you. So
you're going to be fighting Shaun Rafferty. What do you know about him?
Not much. He fought Danny Christie in his last fight, but Danny Christie and me are two completely different men. I'm a professional fighter. He's just an hard bastard. Do you know what I mean? So he's that Shaun Rafferty, even though he's fought Danny, no big respect to him or whatever, but he's going up 10 levels compared to what he had in his last fight. I'm not a pretty boy boxer or nothing like that. I'm brute, like. I mean, this ring, the triangle ring, where there's nowhere in the middle of the stand, it's just corner to corner to corner. I'm going to fuck people up.
Got a message for your opponent, Shaun Rafferty?
Make sure you're fit, make sure you're strong, and keep your fucking hands up, because I'm taking your chin off.
And now, fighting out of the red corner, making his way in the Trigon, from South Wales, Ethan George!
This arena, the Vale Arena, has been a good spot for Ethan George. He won the BBC Welsh Area Super Middleweight belt June 1st of last year, right here inside the Vale Arena. Lost his first title defense in April of last year in Swansea. Two-time national finalist. Tom did have one gloved bout here in 2025.
I'm looking at him now, and in fact I was chatting, when you talk to him, you're now going to find that probably all night the biggest two clashes of styles we've ever seen. You've got one guy whose actual style, he says, I'm unorthodox. Whatever that means, we'll find out. I suppose that means we don't know. But this guy is organised. Ethan George will take some stopping tonight.
Both men ready to go. Ethan George said he got the nickname Paulie Hellboy because he's got big knuckles.
Yeah, and he does. Yeah. He showed us those knuckles. I was like, yeah, you know what? It applies.
You break them, you get that calcium, you break them, and they just keep growing and growing. Become great weapons as we get set for our third prelim. Our tail of the tape for this cruiserweight fight, brought to you by Vortex Competitions. 30-year-old George, 38-year-old Rafferty. Reaches pretty much even. Rafferty will have the height advantage. Once again, with the official introductions, Big Mo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the third bout on our prelim card, it is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division. Brought to you by BoxRec, the heartbeat of all combat sports data. Our referee in charge when the bell rings is Andy Albrighton. Let's meet the fighters first. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with black trim. He stands 6 feet, 1 inch tall. He weighed in at 185 pounds even. Tonight, he is making his professional bare-knuckle debut out of Consett, England, by way of County Durham, England, introducing Shaun Rafferty. And now his opponent, standing across the trigon, fighting on the red corner, wearing the black trunks with gold trim. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in at 185.6 pounds. Tonight, he is making his professional bare-knuckle debut at Llanelli, South Wales. Introducing the former Welsh glove boxing champion, his Hellboy, Ethan Shaun.
Andy Albrighton, our referee. Ethan George, Shaun Rafferty. Here we go. Ethan George in the black and gold trunks. Shaun Rafferty in the white trunks. A lot of gloved experience for the former Welsh champion, Ethan George.
Do you have the nickname Riff Raff in America?
Yeah.
Because here Riff Raff means rubbish.
Oh, well,
If you're Riff Raff, you're rubbish.
Well, he's from here. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but I think it came through his pals being a bit...
It
does.
did.
Yeah. But it's weird to have a name where people go Riff Raff.
In America, Riff Raff is more like messy or right? Kind of crazy.
The Riff Raff.
If we say you're Riff Raff, you're a hobo.
He said his old boxing coach said he was a little rebel back then, and it also rhymes with Rafferty, so credit his coach for Riff Raff if it's nice or not.
Riff Rafferty.
Riff Rafferty.
This is got to be careful with the open hands there of Rafferty's. Very out with those fingers. George with a nice jab. I mean, this is a real boxing match so far in the early parts of this fight. Both guys really looking like two stable boxers, two disciplined boxers here. Fighting at that middle range, nobody trying to grab, feinting.
Little blood coming from the nose area of Shaun Rafferty. Both men with extensive gloved experience. 8 professional bouts. That's a slip for Ethan George.
George has started well, hasn't he, Mike?
He really is. And white collar, almost 20 bouts for Shaun Rafferty.
George trying to go for that catch and shoot.
Body shot. Great body shot.
The first catch and shoot hook actually whizzed by Rafferty, but it still backed him up. I feel like it intimidated him. This is what I'm talking about with bare knuckle fighting. You either take to it or you find out it's not for you.
It is all over. Just like that. Ethan George finishes Shaun Rafferty in round 1.
I see the body shot dropped him, but I'm going to tell you guys, he was intimidated by the catch and shoot left hook that missed him. It backed him up a bit too alarmingly for me. That shot missed. He should have been ready to counter that miss. He should have been ready to fire back because he wasn't so much out of range. Instead, I almost feel like it made him scared, and he locked up and he covered up. And George, of course, seeing that, pounced on him and threw some more shots, and the body shot eventually got him out of there. But
that sums up, doesn't it? Because he said he was unorthodox, and you were saying if he was orthodox, a bit more savvy, he would have done that.
Well, he was boxing well from mid-range. So he had the ability to do that. There's the body shots there.
Great body shot.
The fight.
Hey, Cub Hawkins, I'm coming for you.
I mean,
it's a new fight in George. Cub Hawkins, I'm coming for you.
How debilitating is that?
Because Cub Hawkins is coming for you, Paulie.
Well, we're on different weight classes. At least that's Cub's weight class.
What's wrong with you, Paul? Everybody wants to beat you up.
Whatever. What are you gonna do?
That's only been since you were like 5 years old, right?
I mean, that's the way it is.
Has it always been the same?
When you build up a reputation and build up a name for yourself, I get it. I mean, I've been there too. With Cub, he's 27 years old. I've been 27. I understand where it is. One day he'll be 45 and he'll understand where I'm coming from. He's got his own weight class. Let him deal with Ethan George.
Do you get to the stage where it's a big fight for them, but not necessarily for you?
Yeah, and listen, we're fighters, so I get it, and competition merits it, and if we can make it happen, But I want to chase championships in my weight class.
to make this one official, here is Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Andy Albrighton calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 57 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by knockout, and now undefeated,
Ethan George. Impressive, finishing with multiple body shots and earning a victory here at home in Wales in his professional bare knuckle and trigon debut. Of course, Cub Hawkins, 2 belts, one at 185 cruiserweight, and the one he just earned with the victory over the Welsh Wrecking Machine, Barry Jones, at light heavyweight, 175 pounds.
Where does Ethan want? Cub 175?
Yeah, you know what?
It doesn't matter.
185.
There's championships in both.
And Cub wants you at 154, so Cub's the incredible shrinking man right now. And a shout out to the multiple division champion, the Savage Cub Hawkins.
Those wrestling guys, they know how to make weight.
They do.
They are the best at making weight.
They do. And in that fight with Barry Jones, which we called Paulie, he utilized the clinch like
very
nothing before.
Yeah, very well. Took Barry right out of his element. Barry is the kind of guy, he's very strong, but sometimes you got to take it as well. And Cub was made it very uncomfortable for him.
Barry's a boxer, brawler.
Yeah.
He's coming up against brawler boxers. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Barry's out and out technical boxer, isn't he?
Yeah. You know, listen, I felt like, if I'm going to be honest, and I didn't feel like a jab should have knocked Barry out. You know, then you're a champion. I felt like Cub knocked him out with a jab. Let's be honest. So if you're a brawler, I feel like, but I think sometimes you're just worn out. Like Barry's had a long career.
Yep.
Could be that as well. Still offensively, very, very intimidating though, is Barry.
There were some nasty uppercuts thrown by the new champion as well. Set for another prelim.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the final bout of our prelim card. 5 3-minute rounds in BKB's light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his way to the trigon all the way from Slovakia, Robert Koki.
Former Slovakian bare knuckle boxing champion, 5-2 his overall record, but he is looking for his first win in the trigon. Finishes in 3 of those 5 wins. Right hand durability comes from Roberto Koki from Slovakia. Talks about your good buddy Paulie, Conor McGregor, going from 0 to hero. Whatever you're talking about, whoever you're talking about, to go from 0 to hero, Tom, is the goal of anybody in anything they do in life.
No, anything you do in life, you're absolutely right. Anybody wants to go from nothing to something. Not everybody achieves it, because there's that element. It's not about ability. We've talked about it before. You need a heart, you need desire, you need all those things to go with the ability. Ability without desire is a waste of time.
And also, I think you do need a little bit of personality as well, a little bit of an ability to market yourself. You know, a lot of times you can have a talent, but people need to know you have it as well. So I think there's a combination of a lot of things that going from 0 to hero or nothing to something.
His opponent tonight will have his 4th fight of 2025 as we welcome Tom Pratt.
Tom, welcome to BKB. You look excited to be fighting for BKB.
Yeah, I am, yeah. It's the top of the league, top of the food chain, so I'm looking forward for it.
What about your bare knuckle experience?
This is me 12th. I started off about 3 years ago, and I'm 7 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. I've learned from all them losses. I learned from my last one, which my head movement wasn't all there. That's what I need to improve. Head movement all the time in bare knuckle. As soon as your head stays still, you get caught.
So tell me then about your opponent, Rob Koki. What do you know about him?
Yeah, I know he's a tough lad. He's got a He's got he's an experienced fighter, MMA, so he's good with the clinch. He's fought an ex-world champion on a Bolton show, which he stopped him really quick. So he's really tough. He's a tough lad. Good fight for me. So he's top 5 in my division. So it's a good fight for me to get out there. You know, on my debut, I want to go out there and show what I can do.
And now, fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the trigon, here is Tom Pratt.
You want to talk about one busy fighter. 5 fights last year, as I referenced earlier. This will be his 4th fight this calendar year. Koki, just 31 years old, racking him up very quickly. Says that Koki, Pratt does, that he is a very tough opponent. Father of 2, Tom Pratt, looking for victory number 1 in his Trigon debut, Paul.
Oh yeah, and man, you know, anytime you're looking for victory number 1, there's a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. You know, a little bit of chip on your shoulder, looking to, you know, prove something both to yourself and to critics and to naysayers and doubters.
Tommy told us that when he is not in camp, his head feels like it's going to fall. Yeah. Usually in your camp, you're like, your head's falling from the sparring, but he's just like restless when he's not training.
Which is why he's not easy to deal with to get the first win against.
Absolutely.
I think that's what it is, to be fair. Sometimes there are people who need something like training to keep them focused on everything. Yeah. You know, we all have issues to deal with in our lives. Some people have more than others. Some people need something to take them away from that. And BKB and boxing does just that. It takes training for 10 weeks prior. It takes your whole mind and takes your troubles away.
Organized chaos, but organizes you nonetheless.
And for Tom Pratt, all of his professional fights have been bare knuckle battles. Our final prelim, our tail of the tape for this light heavyweight collision. Pratt is 31, Koki 2 years his elder. He will have a slight reach and height advantage. It's England against Slovakia, and here is Big Mo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we round out our prelim card with 5 3-minute rounds in BKB's light heavyweight division. This contest is brought to you by Vortex Competitions. Our referee in charge when the bell rings is John Lewis. Well, let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white, green, and red trunks. He stands 6 feet, 1 inch tall. He weighed in at 174.4 pounds. Tonight, he enters the Trigon with a professional bare-knuckle record of 5 victories, opposite 2 defeats. Hanamnomezomski, Slovakia, introducing Roberto Koki. And now his opponent, standing across the Trigon, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with gray trim. He stands 5 feet, 1 inch tall. He weighed in at 172.8 pounds. Tonight, he enters the Trigon, an established veteran of bare knuckle, boasting a professional bare knuckle record of 6 victories, opposite 3 defeats, and 1 no contest. Fighting out of Crewe, England, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Pratt.
Ian John Lewis, our referee. Our final prelim tonight from Vale Arena in Cardiff. Pratt and Koki. Black trunks for Tom Pratt. First fight in the Trigon. White with red and green stripes. Robert Koki looking for his first win here with BKB. Koki's debut was against Kieran Harding, who will fight later tonight in our co-main event of the evening. Koki did score a knockdown in the 2nd round against Kieran Harding. Harding finished him off in the 3rd.
Looks like Tom Pratt, he wants to brawl him. I mean, he's just through 2 massive overhead right. And Paulie will know better than anybody. If you throw that big right and miss, your energy is used all the time.
Yeah, and they're also telegraphing a little bit their attack, so neither guy has been able to land anything. They're falling into clinches each time. Again, they got to tighten up a little bit, maybe disguise their attack a little bit better. See again right there, Koki trying to look for the big shot. Tried to feint right before it, but the right hand was a bit wider over the top, and Pratt saw it coming from a mile away, got underneath it.
A couple of body shots before the break thrown by Koki.
Yeah, you allow those little cheap shots here, BKB, right?
Absolutely.
The future there is again, Pratt tries the same thing. He tries to feint downstairs, throw it over the top, but again, a bit too wide and telegraphed, and Koki sees it coming.
Koki wants to put his country on the bare knuckle mat. Like our champion, marvelous Marco Martignac, in attendance tonight on his birthday. Marco's got a big fight that was just announced.
Fighting Ike Villanueva, right?
Yep.
Good fight, that one. Good fight. Ike is a warrior. Marco is a top-level guy. Good battle. Two scrappers.
Former heavyweight champion, Hurricane Ike Villanueva, battling at Bridgerweight, where Marco now has the belt with his recent win over Dan Podmore. A lot of clinching, a lot of energy being utilized by both men here.
And not getting anywhere.
Right. Yeah, they're falling in. They're falling in because their shots are just too wide, and they wind up falling into clinches, Tom.
I'm just looking at Koki. He looks as if he might have more of the boxing ability.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing it.
But the problem is they're trying the same trap every time. It's a feint downstairs with a wide right hand to the top, and both guys are trying it, and both guys are missing it. Now Koki came in with a hard jab there.
I think finesse is on short supply, isn't it?
Yeah, and also creativity. Now we're trying to see.
You mean engineering the shot, setting the shot up?
Yeah, exactly. You know, just using various deceptions there.
Tom Pratt comes from a family with boxers in earlier generations. Of course, our champion, the hitman Harry Gigliotti, fourth generation boxer and holding one of our golden belts.
This is really scrappy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just sit sometimes when I see a fight like this, I sit and wonder, what was the game plan?
Well, I think they want to win, but I just think that, you know, they don't have a... There's an awkwardness to their attack, which sometimes works, and right now it's not working. But I also think at that middle range where they're trying to spend a lot of time, that middle range, there's different ways of being deceptive, even if you're not fighting. They're spending a lot of time at mid-range just staring at each other. In that staring time, you don't have to necessarily throw, but you can change your levels. You can feint, you can give some head movement, you can give a little bit of a rock back and forward, you know, just something that might create a reaction out of your opponent that you might want to see and throw.
But doesn't that require
they're just staring
boxing,
at each other.
Doesn't that require boxing IQ?
It requires creativity. You know, a creativity to figure out how to set up the shots.
Gigliotti, BKB 50, defends his title against Esteban Partida. And then when we come to the O2 Arena, Paulie, you talked about Marco.
Yeah, you see that they just stare at each other. There's no creativity here. They're just trying to wait to see just who's going to throw first. But neither guy's being deceptive, and that's why they miss when they throw.
They're not looking to win the fight. They're looking for a big knockout.
Oh, they're looking to win. They just don't know how.
But the point is they're not looking to earn the right to win it. They're just throwing punches.
Yeah,
they're not approaching it like Goodrich did earlier tonight with a beautiful jab.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Goodrich had a solid jab and a method to the madness. These guys have a jab here and there, but even that, they're not really consistent with that either, you know?
Isn't the jab the kingpin of all boxing?
There's a 1-2, and look, you finally land the shot and you get a knockdown. Look at that. How fast that happens.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mind you, that's the first landed shots of the entire night in this fight, and they caused a knockdown already. So.
The one thing you will notice from Koki, though, Paulie and Tom, he's fighting long.
Yeah.
He's fighting long. He's turning those
up
shoulders over.
That right hand. It's coming out a bit straighter, and he's having more success with it. He's throwing it straighter than he did in round one.
Just seen that again there, that straight jab.
Yep. Yeah, straight
the
right
jab's
hand
the kingpin of all boxing. The jab is where everything comes from.
But the right hand is also being thrown straighter now by Koki. In the first round, he was looping it a little bit too much, and then Pratt saw it coming from a mile away. Now Koki's giving some head movement as well. That's what I'm talking about. A little bit of creativity there, a little bit of broken rhythm that can sometimes creates openings on its own because it gets a reaction you want to see.
Suggests he's got a good corner.
Yeah, maybe some good adjustments there by Koki.
A lot of body shots in the clinch. Pratt from Crewe, England, 35 miles south of Manchester.
See if Pratt can...
The railway centre of Britain. The railway centre of Britain, Crewe.
See, now I'm confused again, Tom. I'm starting to learn, and now you throw like... You come back to the U.S. again, I'll confuse you.
Easy done.
The legendary Tom Ross, the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi, Mike Goldberg. Final prelim, Pratt and Koki.
Pratt doesn't have any ideas. He's kind of just standing at that mid-range, hoping to land something, but not creating much.
How important, Paulie, is it that when you get in the ring, you're adaptable to change whatever you need to do to win? We're not seeing any change from him.
Yeah, and he's just kind of standing there mid-range, hoping that something opens up, but he's got to create that opening. And Koki's actually starting to make some adjustments here and there. Nice sharp jab by Koki as well. Even a level change on the part of Pratt would do him wonders, where he just drops down a level, or even a step back and then step in. Something, even the simpler things like that,
Here's the knockdown.
You see, straight right hand, nice shot there. You see, that was one of the adjustments Koki had in this round, was he tightened up the right hand, made it straight as opposed to looping it, and that gets there faster.
And Tom, we always ask the fighters, what is your fight style? And Koki's answer, win the fight, that's my style, but adapting to the circumstances in every match.
Absolutely, and he talked about his right hand.
Yeah.
We've just seen it. But what bothered me there was not his right hand, it was the lack of defense. From Pratt. No defense whatsoever.
Tell you what.
Remember, this is the art of self-defense.
Yeah, it is indeed. Mirko Krokop, the legendary mixed martial artist from Croatia, the legendary bare knuckle fighter Marko Martinjak, and Koki would like to do the same thing eventually for his country of Slovakia. Third round. Black trunks for Pratt, and Koki in the white with the red and green stripes.
You see Koki again started out the round, he's changing levels, he's giving the feints, and he's dropping levels. Again, a little bit of creativity being shown on the part of Koki since round one. Pratt still has not made any changes. Again, just waiting and hoping something opens up, but and then forcing himself on the inside because he doesn't have any answers. You're not going to land the shot like that.
Have you been in that situation, though, where your corner has to say, look, what you've got to do is, and you do it?
No.
Never?
No. I mean, maybe when I was young. No. Well, I mean, seriously. I wouldn't have gotten in competition if I didn't have the answers. There's actually a point in my life where I knew I could turn pro. I wanted to have at least all the answers to these kind of circumstances before I ever turned pro. Maybe in the amateurs there were times where I probably had this problem as I was still learning.
But you were adapting in the ring yourself.
Yeah, a nice hook there by Koki.
Yeah.
And again, Pratt looks uncomfortable every time a shot lands, which is also kind of telling here. Anytime a shot does land on the part of Koki, Pratt is not reacting in a fighting manner. He's uncomfortable, which makes it only worse for him because he's not able to create on his own either.
Not a lot either way in the first 3 minutes, but a second round knockdown scored by Koki, so a 10-8 in round number 2, just past the midway point of round 3, midway point of this fight.
He's got ahead on points anyway.
Yeah, Koki could probably win this fight just with his lead hand. If he kept a busy lead hand at him, he wouldn't even need the right hand. I mean, he's scored a beautiful knockdown this fight with the right hand. But honestly, you see the jab? If he's consistent with that, Pratt doesn't even have an answer for that. He'll beat Pratt just with the jab. Good right hand there again, straight.
And the jabs are different, upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're creative enough already where Pratt already has no answers to begin with for this. Pratt needs to create something for himself again, and he's just out of ideas.
He's a very experienced bare-knuckle boxer.
And he breaks position every time Koki throws. Against a taller guy, you're going to go back every time he throws at you. You're never going to find the range because he's already tall and longer than you. You've got to slip to the left or right and counter him. And there Pratt tried to get underneath something. But that you're gonna have to hold your ground and slip and shoot. And Pratt giving up ground every time Koki throws takes him out of range because Koki has a longer range to begin with. Koki's taller. There it is again. Nice jab from Koki.
Tom, would it be accurate to say that throughout this fight, Robert Koki has settled in and settled down and looked much more comfortable after the frenetic start?
We all know sometimes the first round's a feeling out sort of round. He's settled into it, and he actually, I think he's coasting.
Yeah. Looks very comfortable, Paulie.
Making it look easy.
Oh, that was sneaky. Nice little shovel uppercut. Oh, there it is again from another angle.
Yeah, nice little left hook, right? Shovel left, shovel uppercut, shovel hook.
Little sharp one as well from right the body.
Was that correct, Magic Man, with the shovel?
Yeah, because Pratt looks to kind of duck away and give you a half turn because he's looking to pivot out a little too soon as well. So I think Koki read it, realized that Pratt had nowhere to pivot because those corners and those trigon are too tight. So he's like, now you pivoted, you got nowhere to pivot. Let me hit you with this hook because now you're bent down already.
And if I mess up a term, Tom, in the boxing play-by-play, it's Paulie's fault. Because I've learned everything about boxing from the Magic Man.
We adapt. We do higher.
Everything's Paulie's fault.
See, there's again that pivot that Pratt tries. Sometimes Pratt sometimes uses it even when it doesn't need to, or sometimes when he does need to, he uses it a little bit too early, and he shows it because that's the kind of move you want to make at the last instant, so you don't show the defensive slip.
Pratt with the names of his two kids on his trunks. Frankie and Luca, age 4 and age 1. But Tom Pratt needs to do something different because much like both of you guys pointed out, all of a sudden Robert Koki is coasting in a good way. Coasting, but scoring.
Working off the jab and just picking up the punch. He's not looking for a knockout.
Yeah, and he's more confident. You see the body language. The body language he has, you know. Again, you see change of level from Koki. You see that now he drops a jab downstairs. Drops a jab up, says again he could win this fight probably with just his lead hand. See the drop with the feint.
Whereas Pratt needs a knockout.
Good little creativity here from Koki.
They always say you win or you learn. Every fight is an opportunity to grow. The self-confidence remains in Koki. That important 6 inches between the ears. And a smart fight after that.
You're spot on,
start.
Mike. You're spot on. You win and you learn, but you also lose and you learn, don't you?
You should.
Or you should.
Yeah, you should.
Unless you blame the referee and everybody else, which has happened.
Nice jabs here from Koki. Again, the lead hand dictating things. Pratt no answer for it. Pratt now not even jabbing himself.
And again in the corner.
Again, one of the big mistakes Pratt is making is he's leaving the pocket every time Koki throws punches. And so he takes himself out of range because a tall guy, if you try to slip punches against a tall guy by stepping out of range, you'll never be able to counter him. Against a tall guy, you eventually have to hold your ground and slip to the left or right so you can counter. And if you don't counter a guy, he's going to stay confident because he's not going to pay. And even if he's missing, he's not going to pay.
And his face is a mess anyway. Look now, and he's hanging on, isn't he? Let's be honest, he's hanging on. He's game and courageous, else he wouldn't be in the ring. But Koki is in control.
Yeah. And Pratt's out of answers.
Pratt at one time was 19 stone. That would be 266 pounds back in his powerlifting days. Like the Baron, Aaron McCallum. Big powerlifting.
Powerlifting, yeah. Yep. Believe it or not, something I did myself.
Really?
Way back in the 80s, yeah.
I did not know that.
No, I shall bring you the trophy.
I would like to see it. I do powerlifting with you two because I got to carry you guys the whole broadcast.
I appreciate it, Goldie. That's what a teammate does.
And what a good job you do of it.
Thank you, thank you. Teamwork makes the dream work. Final seconds of this round.
Again, Koki, nice rhythm changes, nice level changes on the part of Koki.
Final prelim.
Don't let him back you up.
Final round.
Use your jab, right hand, body shots, everything you've done.
The corner of Koki.
Relax, Tom, relax. He's backing you up.
The corner of Pratt.
Get out to there, scoop out. Exactly what we've done. Scooping out everything like this. Backhand, lifting him up. Everything's that sequence. You okay? You okay? They're not into disgraces.
His trainer, Craig Jones.
Come on, you got 1 minute to go.
I think, Mikey, all Koki has to do now is stand up 7 and he's won the fight.
Well, if Koki just has to keep doing this, I think it's a stress-free final round for him, right? I mean,
but it is bare knuckle and one shot can finish it.
Yeah, you got to land it, though.
Yeah, good point.
And I think at this point, the way Pratt has shown a lack of creativity, the only way Pratt's going to land a big shot is if Koki gives him something. And I think Koki doesn't necessarily have to give him anything, Tom. I think he just keeps leading with the lead hand to protect himself just by boxing.
And he's done that brilliantly, hasn't he?
Yeah. And I like that. Now he's switching into a left hook, so he's feinting with the jab. Now you got to be careful more if you're Pratt, because Koki has the ability to turn that lead hand into a hook as well, and it's deceptive. But I think Pratt has to go for broke. Let's see if he tries to do that at least.
And you know what? Tom Pratt, his trainer, everyone watching, everyone in attendance knows that Pratt needs a finish right here, right now, or Koki will get his arm raised in the trigon for the first time.
But yet it's still Koki coming forward, holding range. And sometimes it's the best protection. You hold range, you come forward, but at the same time not too forward to where you get reckless. You just come forward just enough to back up your opponent, and you maintain the protection range that Koki has right now.
When you see people like Koki working off the jab and doing it superbly, you realise how far this sport has come.
Yeah, it is bare knuckle boxing, right? So, but the boxing will take you far.
But there were more fighters like Tom Pratt back in the day than now we've got boxer fighters, and it's lovely to see people with great skill who can use the jab, work off the jab, great footwork.
Yeah, your boxing can take you far in this. You just got to know how to use it. You got to be it's got to be an aggressive boxing. And by aggressive, I don't mean brawling. I mean knowing how to be first and keep your opponent thinking and off balance all the time.
Slip and move. Just keep on the...
Yeah, or just, making the first move, and that's not necessarily punching. It can be feinting. It can be keeping the head moving. It can be giving the level changes, just like Koki's doing. Koki's keeping Pratt thinking constantly. It's not necessarily because he's punching.
And his feet work, his footwork is great, because if you keep moving, if they can't see you, they can't hit you.
That's it.
And footwork is so important.
Koki said coming into this fight is third in the mighty Trigon. He's really been focusing on sticking to his fight plan rather than overthinking about what his opponent is going to do, and he has done exactly that tonight.
That's well said, Goldie.
Spot on.
A really game-planned performance here for Koki, and you can see the confidence building in his body language each and every round.
35 seconds away from his first BKB victory.
Pratt never took a chance in this fight, and he was outclassed in terms of ability, but you would have liked to see him at least go for broke in this last round, and he just kind of goes out with a whimper here in that he just accepted his fate and never really went for, took a risk.
He's surviving.
Yeah, well,
that's all he's doing.
I wouldn't go as far as saying he's surviving, but Tommy, he never took a chance.
You've got to risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was just content to just, let Koki dictate and not.
What you're saying is go out on your shield. Go out on your shield.
Yeah. Or at least try to win the fight.
They go the distance. Second round knockdown, and there he is, the Welsh wrecking machine, the former BKB light heavyweight world champion. He is a legend, especially here at home. The one, the only Barry Jones. Such a class act.
And a good guy as well, really nice guy.
Very good.
Crazy for me to see these guys fighting bare knuckle when I used to cover their glove boxing. And I've seen the transition. And whatever anybody tells you, it is a big transition. You found that, Paul, isn't it?
There's similarities, but there's a lot of big similarities, but there's also a lot of big differences. So, you got to know how to kind of merge the two.
Merge the two. Great way to put it. Merge the two. The best of both.
I feel some 50-44s. What do you guys think?
I'd be shocked if that's not the all-three scorecards.
Koki wants to be the first Slovakian BKB world champion, wants to bring an event to his home country, Marco's already got the lead there, though. He's begging us to come to Croatia, and we're all saying yes.
I'm down for it.
Yeah, we're good.
Croatia's right next to Italy.
There you go.
I've been to Croatia and Slovakia, two wonderful places to go. Croatia's amazing.
And Slovakia, I can see my buddy Marian Gabrick. Here is the official decision from Big Bo.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 full rounds inside the Trigon, we go to the judges' scorecards at ringside. Judges Shaun, George, and Adam Putter sees the contest 50-44, while Judge Carl Cook sees it 49-45. Declare your winner by unanimous decision, Robert Koki.
Was it Judge Carl Cook? I'd love to know which round they gave Tom Pratt.
100%.
That is...
If anything,
you should never judge again. For that alone. Because you got, honestly, sometimes sympathy rounds cost the guy later if he really does start losing rounds.
I can only think it was the first round.
Oh, right. That happened to me in my Blobble fight. I feel like they gave him round 3 on a sympathy because he lost the first 2 clearly. And then I lost 4 and 5 because I broke my hand and I ended up losing the fight. Like, sympathy rounds are not to be given when it's clearly one guy's dominating every round, like right here.
Tell us what you really think.
No, because then it costs you later.
But you're right. You've been there. You know how it can cost you.
Yep.
But listen, we got it right. It was clear-cut win for Koki. Now, what's next for Koki is the big question.
Yeah, confidence built. You can move on to better things, you know, and bring this rhythm into a new fight.
Most importantly, Robert Koki earns his first victory inside the Trigon. Congratulations to Roberto. Up next, it is our main card, Joe Randall and 21-year-old Yeston Edwards. What a matchup. Paul Hills, Jack Marshman. Now, Jack Hammer, a legendary mixed martial artist from here in Wales, says this could be his swan song.
What you say?
Dorian Darts, Troy Palmer, a good matchup at heavyweight. And then Boardman Chadwick, a Bellator veteran. Callum Skane, Simon Doherty. Coming event, Scotland against Wales. Our main event is for the Super Welterweight World Championship. We will see you for the main card. BKB Bare Knuckle Boxing closes out an historic 2025 when it returns to the land of the Red Dragon. Friday, December 5th for BKB 49 from the Vale Arena in Cardiff, Wales. In the main event, Wales' own undefeated Liam Reese defends his super lightweight title against one of the hottest